the CISD-CSD plus, order block, and breaker block. Indicators are specifically designed for the ICT style and are available for various platforms on the TradingFinder website. From this section, you can download the indicator file for the MetaTrader 4 and MetaTrader 5 platforms and run it on the chart. Traders can also refer to this page to learn and understand how the indicator works. From the Navigator section, select the indicator file and activate the indicator by clicking on the file on the chart. Just make sure that the All Dealer Import option is enabled in the Comments section, and then click the Confirm option. Once the indicator is installed on the chart, it begins to identify and plot order block and breakout block limits on the price chart. The CISD-CSD indicator, order block, and breaker block is a handy tool suitable for ICT-style traders. They can identify the ranges of order blocks and breaker blocks on the chart and obtain more valid signals along with the CISD. For example, in this section we have identified a profitable block order. After that, the price moved downwards but failed to break through and validate the blocked order range. The price has moved downwards and closed above this level. As the price returned upwards, it broke the resistance level of this area and bullish signal was generated for us. There is another example here in another section. To see it better, I'm going to disable the zigzag line. Here, the price has moved upwards but failed to break and validate the bearish order block range in this area. It only moved upwards and closed below this level, then moved down again and broke a support level in this section, generating a bearish breakout signal. In the settings section. In the input section, there are options for us where, in the first part, you can select the number of candles for identifying and drawing the ranges of order blocks and breaker blocks, which is set to a default of 1,000 candles. In the next section, you can enable or disable the display of the zigzag trend line. In the next section, you can enable or disable the display of the breaker block. In the next section, you can choose the display status of the order block boxes, which has 5 options available. For example, I select the 4th option, which displays the box types as lines and the sections as colored boxes. I select the default activation. In the next section, you can enable the display of the latest order blocks. In the lower section, you can set the number of times to display the latest profitable and bearish order blocks. By default, it is set to 2 profitable order blocks and 2 bearish order blocks. If I disable this section and also disable the breaker block, you can see the bullish and bearish order blocks in this section. In the next section, you can enable or disable the display of the breaker block. Here, it has identified the breaker block for us. Breaker blocks are order block ranges that are broken by price movement and change into a flip-flop shape. So, here we had a bearish order block, and with the breakdown of the order block range, it changed to a Saudi order block. In the next section, you can select the breakout block display mode. which has 5 settings, you can enable or disable the display of the last breakout block, along with the number of times the last breakout blocks are displayed. And in the last section, you can set the breakout limit, which is 5 candles by default. For a better understanding of the bearish limit mode, for example, we had a range here, and as the price moves towards this range, which moves downwards with the shadow, and closes above this level, the indicator counts from the candle that moved downwards, and moves up to 5 candles. If a candle is identified, that is opposite to the Nusoli candles. It takes into account the latest candlestick, and draws the political level here. Another part is located here, where we had a liquidity level. The price moved up, and then a price pattern was formed here, which identifies 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 candles. If another political level is identified, it takes the last candlestick with the trend from open, and draws the political level, and after the political level is broken, it displays a profit signal or a no-sell signal for the political break. This value can be changed here, and you can increase or decrease the value. Well, friends, we've reached the end of this tutorial on the indicator. We would be happy to hear your comments and suggestions in the comments section.